This delicious flank steak is made with the best meat marinade recipe and grilled to perfection. The buttery roasted potatoes are the perfect side dish. My name is Mari, and I'm going to show you how to make it. The first thing I have to do is make the marinade for the flank steak. So I'm going to show you all the ingredients that I'm going to put in it, and then we'll make it together. All right, so let's go ahead and make the marinade. The first thing I'm going to do is put in about 1/4 of a cup of lemon juice. And this is just lemon juice that I had some lemons, so I did some freshly squeezed lemon juice. But you can do the lemon juice that's in the bottles if you want, if that's what you have. And yep, that's right at about 1/4 of a cup. Okay, now let's see here. Then I'm going to do teriyaki sauce. 1/4 of a cup. I'm just gonna pour it in here. This marinade is really easy and absolutely delicious. You can use it on different kinds of meat. Today we're gonna do the flank steak, like I said. All right, so that's 1/4 of a cup of teriyaki. And then 1/4 of a cup of soy sauce. Pour that in. I do use the low sodium soy sauce, but you can use whatever soy sauce you like. Okay. All right. Then I'm gonna do a tablespoon of Dijon mustard. All right. Tap it in. And a tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce. Okay, I'll just pour this in the same spoon since it's right here. All right, got that in. Then I need a clove of garlic chopped. Just put this in here. All right. And now I'm going to add about a teaspoon of salt and about 1/2 teaspoon of cracked black pepper. And then I need a 1/3 cup of oil. For the oil, I'm going to use the avocado oil. You can do olive oil if you like, or if you want to use like a vegetable oil, you can certainly do that. But I have the avocado oil and I really like this for the marinade. I'm gonna pretty much finish off this bottle. Perfect. All right, so let's pour in the oil. Now the piece of flank steak that I have is about 2 pounds, almost 2 pounds. So this is going to be more than enough marinade for the piece of flank steak that I have. And just want to give this a good whisk to get everything nice and combined. Just a couple seconds. And the mustard, you just want to make sure everything is really well blended here. All right, now I'm going to get the flank steak and put all this together. So here is the piece of flank steak that I'm gonna marinate today. Like I said, this one is almost 2 pounds. Now, something to let you know about flank steak, if you've never had it before, is that it's not as tender as other cuts of meat like a ribeye or filet mignon, that kind of thing. So you really do want to tenderize it, and you can do that with marinade. I'm also going to tenderize it a little bit with this meat mallet. So it kind of double downs on the tenderizing with the mallet and the marinade. I'm also going to let this marinade in the refrigerator for, well, I'm going to do it overnight. The longer the better. You don't have to do it that long. If you want to put it in the marinade first thing in the morning and then cook it later that night, it should be fine. But we usually like to let it sit overnight. So I'm just going to take this meat mallet and hit it a couple of times. Sorry for the noise. And I'm using the rough end of the mallet. It's got like this smooth end and then a rough end, but this is just giving it, like I said, a little bit more tenderizing. All right, now I've got a Ziploc bag. I'm gonna put the meat in the Ziploc bag so that I can pour the marinade in it. You know what, let me tenderize this other side too. All right. Now, this will end up being delicious and tender once it is marinated. It just doesn't start out as tender as some other meats. So you just need to know that going into it. All right. I'm just going to kind of flatten it a little bit in the bag. All right, let me move this out of the way. And I'm gonna take this marinade, give it a good whisk again. But like I said, this is an excellent marinade for flank steak, really any kind of meat. It's wonderful on pork. This is just fantastic. And the acidity from the lemon juice and the salt of the soy sauce, teriyaki sauce, plus the added salt, all of those things help tenderize the flank steak. So I'm just going to pour this in. Okay. So you see that's plenty of marinade for this piece of meat. Just kind of push the air out of it. All right, I'm just going to put the bag in this bowl and put it in the refrigerator. Kind of work it so that it's as flat and all of it's in the marinade. I'm going to put this in the refrigerator, like I said, about 24 hours. Now I'm going to put together the oven roasted potatoes that we're going to have as a side dish with the flank steak. This is a really easy recipe, few ingredients, but it's absolutely delicious. So let me show you how to make it. Okay, so here's what we need for the oven roasted potatoes. I've got these little russet potatoes. We're using really small ones. This isn't really a baked potato. You'll see what I'm going to do, but these are just small russet potatoes. Then I've got seasoning salt. You can use whatever seasoning salt you want or have already in your house. A couple of tablespoons of butter, and then some olive oil. So the first thing I'm going to do is just take this dish. Now this is a smaller one. I think this is, what is this, a 7 by 11? No, this is an 8 by 11 because there's just a couple of us eating these potatoes. So I don't need to do a 9 by 13 of them. I'm going to put the butter in here and put that in the oven, which I've preheated to 350 degrees. And I'm going to let this melt. All right, while the butter is melting in the oven, what I'm going to do is take these potatoes and just cut them in half. Just like that, okay? And like I said, you want to choose smaller potatoes because this isn't meant to be, you know, like a baked potato or that you know, typically might have with some steak. These are just some oven roasted potatoes. All right, so I just got this dish out of the oven. The butter is melted. Just gonna kind of swirl it around, make sure that it's sort of evenly distributed here. Okay. Then you're gonna take your seasoning salt and just kind of sprinkle it on the bottom of the, well, really on top of the butter. Then you're gonna take these potatoes and line them up on top of the butter and the seasoning salt. I'm just gonna very, very lightly drizzle a little bit of this olive oil on top. I like the flavor combination of olive oil and butter. This is just a little bit. Okay, now I'm gonna put these in the potato. I'm gonna put these in the oven for at 350. These take about total probably 45 minutes. But I'm going to flip them over about halfway so that they get cooked on both sides. All right, so the potatoes have been cooking for about 20 minutes. And now I'm going to turn them over so that they can cook on the other side. They're pretty soft, but I want them to get crispy. And by turning them over, then both sides get nice and cooked and crispy. All right, so the flank steak is now out of the marinade. We let this marinate overnight. I'm gonna let this sit at room temperature on the counter for about 30 minutes before we put it on the grill, just so that it won't be cold right out of the refrigerator. And I'm gonna also sprinkle just a little bit of sea salt on the top of it before we put it on the grill. And we're gonna cook this to about medium. All right, here's the grill master, Mr. Jeff.
I've got the grill up as hot as it'll go.
Okay.
I like to get a quick sear on both sides. And let's get going.
Let's get it going. Slab of flank steak, fully marinated.
Slab of steak.
Oh, listen to the sizzle.
All right, I'm gonna let it go on this side for about a minute and a half. Then I'm gonna turn it a quarter turn, another minute and a half, flip it, minute and a half, another quarter turn, minute and a half, should be about ready.
Perfect. All right, steak is done. So the steak master, the grill master, is going to cut it, and let's see what it looks like.
Yeah. So the important thing to do with a flank steak is you got to cut against the grain. See how the grain runs this way? Mm-hmm. You got to cut it against the grain, and the thinner you can slice it, the better.
Okay.
And I usually slice it at an angle.
Okay. That looks good. Oh, that looks good. Very juicy.
Perfect medium.
Mm-hmm. And the more it goes in the middle where it was thicker.
A little more rare.
Yes.
So right there, you're starting to get a little bit of rare there.
Correct.
But this is the thickest part of the meat that we're slicing right now.
Mm-hmm. Perfect.
The thinner you can get it, the better.
That looks great. Alrighty. Like I said, steak is done. Potatoes are done. We have a big plate of food that we're just dying to eat. So we are going to give it a taste real quick. Okay. You want to taste the steak first or the potatoes?
Taste the potato first so that I can end with the steak.
Ah. Okay, yeah, good point. Okay, so we'll taste the potato first so we can end with the steak. All right, ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Try to get a small piece. Mmm. Tastes nice and buttery, but well seasoned. It's very tender. Oh, I love those potatoes. Mm-hmm. Good?
Yeah.
Okay, wonderful potatoes. Let's go for the steak. This is kind of a big bite. I feel like I'm going to be chewing for a little while.
Yeah, I'll take half of it.
Mmm.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
That's perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Crack on a plate.
The marinade is wonderful. And it makes the flank steak tender. And then, of course, you grilled it perfectly. Thank you for that. He did a great job. He always does such a good job with the grill. All right, this is so delicious. You've got to make this. We are going to go eat our steak and potatoes. I hope you have a good night wherever you are. And thank you so much for watching our video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up, and we would love to have you subscribe to our channel. I'm going to put the recipe in the description below, so you'll know if you want to make it yourself, you'll have all the ingredients. Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Bye.